little technology report here coming up, and some technology now. Chris Demm showed us a picture of someone we had talked about on this program recently. We put it on our social media and said, guess who this person is. Biggie, did anybody get it right?
A few people I'm looking here.
Yeah. To me, I thought it was someone we worked with, and everybody did here. We were like, oh, is that so-and-so? Is that
or someone we used to work with? Yeah.
But it's not. It's somebody famous.
Well, the picture, to me, resembles a picture that might have been taken back in the early 80s. Just the look of it, the texture of it.
It's not, though. It was a recent picture.
No,
Yeah, that's
about
what
a week
he
or
said.
so ago.
Posted last week. It's Dave finally got it. You said some coworkers, and we said, well, it's not anybody we work with, but it's somebody famous. And it is. I'll let you reveal.
Well, I started with her hair, went down to her eyes, got to her lips, and said Monica Lewinsky.
That's right. The lips were what...
Got me there.
Yeah.
I'll put you right over the edge.
Yeah, well.
Every time.
It is Monica Lewinsky. She looks... See, and I had said, this is what prompted this. I said, because they're doing that Monica Lewinsky, Bill Clinton show on FX, it's American Crime Story, like they did with O.J. a few years ago. They're doing...
Impeachment, I think is the full title.
The Lewinsky-Clinton scandal. And I said, well, in the day, 25 years ago, I found her to have a quality, sexy. And I said, I don't know if she's got it anymore. Well, she does. She still has a quality about her. She's an attractive woman.
The more I see of the characters, I'm yet to see Edie Falco as Hillary, but I'm not buying Clive Owen.
You're not buying Clive
as
Owen.
Clinton?
Now Bill? I've seen more of him, and I just don't care for it. I already don't like Monica.
Is it physical? Is it the voice, or just
this is physical to
actor?
me? Yeah, it's kind of a little bit of everything. And I already don't like Monica. I told you I think they cast that all wrong.
It's an unknown, and you think she doesn't look like
I don't think
Monica.
she looks like Monica.
Interesting. I haven't seen any of them yet.
I think Monica then was way more attractive.
Ms. Lewinsky, the real one, she's one of the producers of the show, so she had a lot of input.
She did, for accuracy. My wife said they had to beg her to do that. She didn't want to be a part of it. They got her to do it, and she said, okay, but if I come on board, I'm going to make sure everything is exactly accurate.
Well, the story that I read, where I found the photo, which I sent to you guys, it said that she was... I think she met somebody maybe it's that Ryan Murphy, and he said, look, somebody's going to tell your story. Why don't you be a part of it and tell it the right way?
Well, that makes sense. Yeah, why not?
Yeah.
And she did.
She said, yeah, I'll be a producer.
And she is. And remember, they didn't shoot one scene because they thought it would make her uncomfortable. And she said, oh, no, put it in. I mean, it happened that way. The thong. She flashed a thong at the president.
That's right.
And they said, well, we didn't want to, make you uncomfortable. And I thought, well, if that's... come on. There's other things that are going to make her uncomfortable.
I believe it's a 10-part series.
Wow. I'm in.
It's a commitment.
I'm in. We set the DVR yesterday.
When's the deed? What part?
I'm going to say that's about, I bet it's 4, because I bet they go all the way through the impeachment and everything. 3, maybe, is the part.
Impeachment's kind of boring, though, isn't it?
I bet it's earlier.
Oh, you think they'll do it first thing?
Well, I think that, I don't want to give too much away, but I think she said I think the last line of the first episode is Lewinsky calls her friend Linda Tripp. Conniving or backstabbing B.
God, you are Linda Tripp.
Me?
Every time I see the trailer, Chris Kelly, I think of you as Linda. You are Linda Tripp to a T of one of us.
You're built like
Yeah.
I do have some Tripp in me.
That's hurtful, Dave.
Oh, yeah.
What's the hair and the hips?
How could you say
Well,
that?
and the attitude.
Do you know how long I've worked on these hips?
Well, she's shaped like a pear, like you.
Do you know how much I run?
Don't make him pull his pants up again.
Do you know how often I run to try and get rid of these hips? I cannot do it.
But it's bone structure.
But a woman my age...
You've got those rain gutter hips.
Yeah.
Chris Demm always said I had real good birthing hips. It's a really...
Oh, they're childbearing.
I've got childbearing hip. The rest of me I'm happy with, except for my chins and my hips. But they're so difficult. You
That's
just...
the name of your podcast.
Chins and hips. Chips.
Colon, they're difficult.
Chips.
Almost impossible. You just can't run these things
I wasn't
off.
even thinking physically. I was thinking just the shifty eyes, a little, and the fact that you would totally be like, oh, I'm your best friend. Tell me more.
Yeah.
And then
Record everything.
secretly recording, telling the FBI and the news and,
Those recordings, too. She's always eating M&Ms and stuff and chips and she's got like baseball on in the background. Remember those? Joe Buck was all over that thing, calling the World Series.
It's you, Kelly.
I know.
Oh, you are
and
Linda,
M&Ms.
you are Linda Tripp.
I'm the one, the slightly hairy upper lip.
Never really gets a good shave up there. Can't get close enough.
Deep down, completely untrustworthy.
Yeah.
Completely.
Oh, but selling it. Oh, I'm your friend. I'm your best friend.
Totally selling
Tell
her
me
out.
everything. Well, then click. Tell me everything.
Yeah.
Horrible. She recorded all that stuff from Monica Lewinsky. Monica thought she was the one person she could confide in, and it was the one person you couldn't say anything to.
Nobody's done this story before, no?
There's been documentaries, but this is a fictional fabric. It's a fictional telling of it. They did a great job with the OJ trial about 3 or 4 years ago. I mean, it was fantastic.
It's good enough, and I think that point Chris Demm made is that it would ruin it for somebody else to say, let's make a movie about this, but it's like, well, it's already been done by somebody that was, that did it. That actually did it.
I think the story is better told over this, like an 8-hour miniseries than just shoving everything into a 2-hour movie.
I'm in. I am totally in.
Do you still have the OJ series on your DVR, Kelly?
Yes, we have that.
Do you?
My wife loves that. That OJ
The
stuff,
fictional one.
right? Yeah, the fictional one.
Does she still have the trial?
Yes, we have on VHS. She recorded every hour of that trial.
God, how many tapes?
Oh.
Is that what's in the mystery room?
40 tapes. Yeah, it's in our attic now, and there are all these video cassettes that she got because she was so infatuated with the OJ trial. Here's the deal. I told you a minute ago. Amazon is doing something. They need drivers.
Yeah,
and apparently they are saying now they are letting it be known that they don't screen for marijuana use. So if you are someone who likes to take a little pot, a bit every once in a while, they will still hire you as a delivery driver. That's how desperate they're getting.
What if I get pulled driving my Amazon truck?
Well, they don't. Of course, they don't condone driving, but they used to screen apparently for marijuana use.
They're basically saying we don't drug test.
We don't drug test is what they're saying now. They've let that.
But if you get busted, you get busted. It
well,
doesn't
yeah,
mean
that's on you.
Yeah, they're not encouraging you to be driving around in their van smoking. They're just saying,
that's right.
If on your days off you partake.
That's right. The company is advising its delivery partners to also drop any screening for marijuana use. They feel like they'll get 400% more applications if they do that.
Well, if anything will get me bananas.
Well, Christian's out of bananas.
Can't
What
get
the hell's
bananas.
going on?
I don't know what's happening with bananas.
And I'll tell you that's something else. The fast food job shortage. Some Burger Kings and McDonald's have lowered their hiring age. It used to be 16. Now it's 14. So they're hiring 14-year-olds to work.
Is that dependent upon in which state they are?
Yes. Some states don't allow. And some franchise owners have held it at 16 for a long time. But those that have gone down to 14, one McDonald's franchise owner says, I have been so impressed by my 14-year-old workers. They have drive and work ethic. They get the technology, so they catch on really quickly for things like our app. And so she says this has saved my business. This has let me do business regularly. This was in Ohio. And she said, we've gotten 25 extra applications of 14-year-olds in 2 weeks since we started doing this, and we've hired them, and they've been good.
But you're limited on hours with kids, right?
It's a lot, yeah.
Well, certainly. But
there's child labor.
Especially at 14, 15, there are as well. You're supposed they have mandatory breaks built in. But I'll tell you, when I was helping hire at the pizza place, I was shocked and impressed by the amount of 14 and 15-year-olds who would apply and want to work.
And they're ready to go.
Much more than the adults, frankly. Yeah, and they would want to, and they're, hey, I want to work. I want to make money.
I started bussing tables at 13.
Yeah.
Oh, no. Here comes the story.
Paid
Pull your
under
pants up. Pull your pants up, Grandpa.
Paid under the table.
Hitch him up.
Paid under the table.
All right.
That's right.
Totally illegal.
Totally illegal. Patent mixed seafood. He'd hand me $50 on the way out on Saturday night.
Wiping up cigarettes mushed out in tartar sauce.
Imagine what they would have done to you if you cut a finger off.
Oh.
They'd have drug you into the street and it's been like lost boy. Where'd you find him? He was out on the street and his finger fell off. I don't know.
He rolled off a truck like that.
They pull out their cigarette and cauterize the end of it. It'll fix it, Evo.
He
Stop bleeding.
reeks of cocktail sauce.
There's a blood trail leading back to the restaurant. Looks like he was in here. Nope. No way he was working here.
I'm telling you, I'd go home reeking of fried fish.
Yeah.
At 13, patent mix, they paid me $50 under the table, and I loved it.
Sure.
That's the kind of work ethic a 13, 14-year-old has.
There's a lot of money back then.
Absolutely. No taxes. Then I started going legit at 14. I went over to Henry James Barbecue.
Joined the system.
Joined, and I hadn't got out of it since.
No, you really haven't.
That's called work.
Working for the man.
It's interesting he said about, this is a technology report, he said the 14-year-olds really catch on to technology. I got an email yesterday that said, this is the whole body of the email, I finally have dirt on you. I have it on video. I know what you did. Give me 1 million Bitcoin or I will expose you. And at first I thought, Oh my God!
They got me.
They got me. And then I thought, I don't know how to give you 1 million Bitcoin. I couldn't do that.
You're gonna have to just release it.
What's 1 million Bitcoin? Like $20?
I don't know.
No,
No.
it's way.
It's millions of dollars.
Oh, is it? I have no
And I was
idea.
like, first of all, I don't have that money. Secondly, I can't give it to you in Bitcoin if I did have it. Third, I just said back to them, you'll have to be more specific. Or you're going to have to change the currency or whatever.
Never mind. We messaged a boomer.
Can you just blackmail me the old-fashioned way?
Through the mail.
Yeah, can you send some pictures?
Can you just send me a letter?
And I'll send you the cash.
You know, they tried to get, Chris Demm told me this, they tried to get his mother-in-law. Somebody called and said, hey, Grandma, and she cut him off at the knees, which
Instantly,
I love.
she said, first of all, my grandson would never call me that.
Good for her.
I mean, she was just on top of
I
it.
loved hearing that.
And this is just a week or so ago.
That's fantastic. You know, don't try to get us old.
She's still spry, bless her.
That's right. Don't try to get us boomers or us Generation Xers on this thing. We're not going to do it. We're not going to fall for it.
Stop hitching your pants up when you say stuff like that.
Yeah.
Your pants are too high.
This was chronicled yesterday. I'm wearing my pants high right now.
I
It's these
can't figure out
hips. It's these darn hips. I'm telling you, I like to get it. I have got to
Well,
work.
they won't fall down off
It's
those
a strange shape.
I know. It
They're
is.
hanging off your backside, but they're up to your navel.
My wife said yesterday, she heard us talking about it. I walked in yesterday, or she walked in, and I was up still wearing the jeans. And she said, you look like you're wearing clown pants. You look like you've joined the circus.
You are looking very, because of the weight you have lost with your oversized clothes, where it looks like people are going to start being like, he's sick, or we're worried.
That's what she said. Yeah. She said, you look like some sort of, it's mom jeans.
But we've seen this cycle so many times.
Especially this jeans thing. We should snap a picture of how high
It's
they
very
are.
sling bling.
I mean, it's unreal.
it's Billy Bob Thornton.
Yeah.
My britches.
You look like the kid at the end of Big.
I like
Yeah.
Where he's walking back home in the adult clothes. You're like, what?
Oh, that's him. Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Oh, there you go. Okay.
I like the feel of it. I like the belt up above my navel.
Because most of your life it's been pretty tight, hasn't it?
It had. And so I like to feel it up there, and it feels like I'm all more packaged in or whatever. You know, it's like my corset.
I think you have to go to the store and
Yeah.
pick up some britches.
He's
We
not
gotta
going
do-
to the store.
We have to do a montage of you shopping at some point.
I just bought these jeans 2 years
Set to
ago.
an 80s jam?
Yeah.
I'm just
Like the
not-
Pointer Sisters, I'm so excited.
I'm not going to do that.
Maybe Material Girl.
Apple has announced that their newest, the next generation smartwatch, the next one they come up with, will have a blood pressure sensor and a fertility tool as early as next year when they release it.
Explain.
One thing, they will take a person's temperature, which will be used for fertility planning by women, because when their temperature is in a certain range, that's when they know they're most fertile, and they can call their husband and say, all right.
The watch says, "Get you some."
That's right.
Make me pregnant.
It will tell you when you're in your best ovulation cycle to get pregnant.
Yeah.
That's the next thing. That's a little bit
I
too
took the
much.
fun out of it.
That's a little too much.
How many Apple Watches are in your household now, Kelly? You have 4 adults, or four humans.
Just
excuse me.
one. Just my wife. She's got it.
Do you think the kids will get into one?
They've never mentioned it. My son had a Fitbit and didn't wear it. He's like Biggie. He wore it for like 2 days.
I called Biggie's the sit bit.
That's right. My son didn't get. Now my daughter has a kid's version, and she loves it. Now, she keeps up with her steps. It's not an Apple Watch. It's like Fitbit Junior or something like that. You know, which we got a few years ago, and she really likes it. The next Apple Watch, by the way, will also detect sleep apnea and provide medical guidance when they sense low blood oxygen levels. And the next version after that, which will be about 2 years later, they think they'll be able to spot diabetes. If you have diabetes, it will tell you you're diabetic right there on your watch. Can you imagine?
That's like Star Trek, man.
Yeah, it is.
Is all that stuff just coming from your wrist?
Yeah, I guess when it can sense things
Where else is it?
through your skin,
I
that's
went
it. That's the only
to-
place.
Just skin temperature and pulse and
Your blood, does it somehow know what's going on with your blood?
Maybe I'm behind the times, but when I went to the dentist last week, they took my blood pressure, and it's a wrist thing.
It's not around
the. It's a wrist. They strap it Velcroed around your wrist, and it's got the little
the
readout
same
right
looking
on
cuff.
it.
Really?
And then you look up at it, and then it's beep beep beep, and then it does no cuff. Yeah, there's no upper arm stuff.
Well,
It's
now
all right
I'm
there.
for that, because when they start to, that really gives me a little bit of a funny feeling.
Oh, it still tightens up.
You know what I'm saying? Like when they start to let it go.
You don't like the standard cuff.
The standard cuff.
It hurts.
It's always
It's
just.
the same thing, but down lower.
I wouldn't call it pain, but I'd call it just a funny feeling. You know, when it's around your.
Yeah, I've been lifting. You have to squeeze pretty hard.
I don't know if you got a bigger cuff.
Sorry if I break your cuff.
Got a bigger cuff back there.
Around the bicep.
Yeah, they won't let me in the CVS anymore. I keep breaking the machines.
I was in CVS yesterday. Got my flu shot.
All right.
All right, beat the rush.
Yeah, I said, and this is so typical of my son. He was in the car with me, and I said, well, I'm going to stop here at CVS. I had to pick up a prescription for my daughter. So I'm going to stop at CVS, and he said, I'm going to stay in the car. I said, okay. So he stays in the car. I go in. I'm getting the prescription. She said, you're able to get your flu shot anytime if you'd like. I said, well, let me just do it. So I texted him. I said, come on in and get your flu shot. He said, I've already had it. I said, you've already had it? I texted him back. I said, are you sure? He goes, yeah, I got it like 2 weeks ago, which seemed very early to me. And I said, are you absolutely sure? He goes, oh, God, I swear I've had it. So I said, all right, stay in the car. She gives me the flu shot. I get back out. We drive home. I say to my wife, I got my flu shot. She said, oh, great. Did he get it? I said, no, he's
already had it, honey.
She said, he has not. He got some other thing at the doctor a month ago, and she goes, "That's his dip tip.
That's his dip tip.
That's his dip tip.
That's his German measles."
She said, she blamed me. She's like, never to trust him on anything.
No.
That's his dip tip, and I screwed it up. I could have gotten it right then.
Stop believing your son.
I know exactly. And she also said, as she was shooting me, she said, "Man of your age really should get the shingles vaccine as well." She goes, can I
You
say?
really should.
I'm going back in 2 weeks. I'm going to get the shingles vaccine in 2
Well,
weeks.
now, take it from me, and Weather Dave will probably sign off on this, too. Don't schedule it around your pickle time.
Yeah, because my
you may
arm,
not be able to swing the bat.
my arm will be really
schedule
sore.
on a Monday away from practice.
Okay, and she said, man of your age should probably get his
And the
shingles.
second one, too. There's just two
I
parts.
know, well, she said. And then I said, well, how's that going to work? Because I'm probably going to get a COVID booster. And she goes, you can do it. It'll
You're
work.
supposed to space them out by 2 weeks, I believe.
That's what she said. That's
Right.
why I'm waiting 2 weeks after the flu shot to get the shingles. And then, God, I sound so old. I just got my flu. I got to balance my COVID.
Then you got to get the hep, then the dip tip,
I'm telling you.
and then the tetanus.
Let me tell you something. If there's a needle full of something, you can poke at my arm.
Put it in there. I don't care.
I basically
Like
said,
the horse
Take it.
paste.
just poke it in. That's exactly right. Here's this funny. I mentioned it. This is also technology. This is a funny meme that I received this morning, and it's got a couple looking at houses. They're like staring up at it, and it says, "New on House Hunters this week: husband owns a milk crate company. Wife owns a horse deworming medication company. Budget $3.69 million."